Hi there, my name is Chelsea, this is 20-something in Orlando, and welcome to our very first installment of You Have Failed This Theme Park. I would like to start by saying I do not work for the Walt Disney Company. These views do not reflect anyone who works for the Walt Disney Company or the Walt Disney Company itself. Thanks. But we're here to talk about the biggest mistake that Walt Disney Imagineering has made in the last 5 or 6 years. So normally on Tuesdays I do these articles where I talk about stuff to do in Orlando and review it so people can kind of decide and what they want to do with their time here. But I've always wanted to do these talking head videos, and now that we're officially 4 years old, yay, our birthday was on Saturday, seemed like a good time to start. I was waiting until I finished the office renovation, but we're far enough along. This is good. There will eventually be artwork back here, but this is good enough for now. Anyway, so biggest mistake the Walt Disney Company Imagineering has made in the last 5 or 6 years. It's a story thing. It's actually a fairly easy fix because they haven't done anything except a couple of signs and social media announcements about it. But no, this relates to the world famous Jungle Cruise and the updates coming to it. I actually have no problems with them changing the story scenes or even in any of the jokes in the script. The ride's not really been updated much since 1971. It's almost 50 years old. Guys, it needs some love. That part's fine. No problems there. No, my problems with what they're doing actually start back in 2015 when they announced the Skipper Canteen at D23 in Anaheim in August 2015. So, the Skipper Canteen, it's a restaurant themed around the Jungle Cruise. The idea is that the skippers weren't making enough money driving boats, so they opened a restaurant to help pay the bills. Really, guys? You want to tie your story in that your employees weren't making enough money? You don't think that hit too close to home? But that's not what I'm here to talk about either. No, the problem is the Skipper Canteen is run by the granddaughter of the founder of the Jungle Cruise. Apparently now the founder of the Jungle Cruise is Dr. Alberta Falls, and his granddaughter is Alberta Falls. So, Chelsea, why is this a problem? Well, funny you should ask. So, you're riding the Jungle Cruise, it's a great day, boats laughing, everybody's having a good time. You go past the Trap Safari, you go past the big green things we're not allowed to talk about, and you're coming to a waterfall. It's behind your skipper.
Straight ahead of us. Now, Schweitzer Falls is a very famous waterfall discovered by a very famous explorer. Schweitzer Falls was named after Dr. Albert Falls. Yeah. All right, now, wait, okay, too much talking, not enough turning. All right.
Albert Falls. So that's where they got the name. Here's one little problem. It's not named for Dr. Albert Falls. It's named for Dr. Albert Schweitzer. We talk about him in the queue. Albert Awol, who's the voice of the jungle, talks about him in the queue music. Albert Schweitzer was a real explorer. That is what the Schweitzer Falls were named after. However, because skippers, we generally are not incredibly intelligent people, I'll be the first to admit it, we're dumb. We don't get that it's Albert Schweitzer. So we're like, I forgot that. Oh, Albert Falls, that must be it. You're telling me Imagineering didn't get the joke? Imagineering, that in theory should have written this script, didn't get the joke? Apparently. So, the Skipper Canteen opens. It's a great restaurant, good food, lots of fun, with Alberta Falls portrait inside. That's great. There's a painting of Dr. Albert Falls on the river on a Jungle Cruise boat. He is now the founder of the Jungle Cruise, and he's been made a member of the SEA, which is Society of Explorers and Adventurers, which is this cool, backstory that ties a bunch of Disney attractions from around the world together. It includes Mystic Manor in Hong Kong, Tower of Terror in Tokyo, the Jungle Cruise, the Tropical Hideaway in Disneyland. There's a whole backstory to it that's really cool that I will talk about at some point in the future. But so Albert Falls is made a member. He's got his portrait up in the Skipper Canteen. It's great. Guys, the painting's backwards. He's sailing the boat out of the temple instead of into the temple. Well, it's not the way our river flows. So not only did you not get the joke, you don't even know which way the river flows. Alright, fine. So now, with the update to the Jungle Cruise coming, they have doubled down on Alberta Falls and her horrible name, and that she is now running the Jungle Cruise, and there's this whole thing, the Daily News, which was an article, interview with her, which the Daily News, that's cute, GNUS News. It's another name for wildebeest. It's a pun. It's great. I love that. Hate the name. Imagineering, you didn't get the joke. It's not Alberta Falls. I understand you couldn't go with Albert Schweitzer as a member of the SEA. He's a real person and probably doesn't appreciate having his name dragged in with Disney. I doubt he's still alive, but that's not a thing. You can't use a real person. What you should have done was use Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle. So, if you stand in the world famous Jungle Cruise queue or you're on dock for any amount of time, like I spent entirely too much of my life there, there is a radio broadcast playing with a voice announcer DJ named Albert Awol, the voice of the jungle. That's literally what he calls himself. He does all the things, all the jokes, there's all this stuff in the queue, and while you're waiting in between musical bits and stuff, there's all these jokes. It's great. It kind of keeps you entertaining while you're in line. It's not as funny after the 100th time you've heard it, like some people, like me, but it's great. And when it came time for Jingle Cruise, they brought in a new guy named Nigel with no L for Jingle Cruise because Disneyland does not have Albert Awol. Okay, I get that. You wanted something that could be on both coasts. It should have been Albert Awol. You're doing all these updates to the ride, re-record the spiel, make it Albert Awol, make him the founder of the Jungle Cruise, put it in the Disneyland queue also. Problem solved! But in the meantime, we are doubling down on not getting the joke. I realize that this video is not going to do anything to change Disney's mind, but I'm just saying it's not too late. You haven't done anything. You would just have to change some names on some plaques in the Skipper Canteen, and you would just have to put out new social media with the name Alberta AWOL. Easy, super easy fix. And this is me demanding justice for Albert AWOL. But should be Albert AWOL, should not be Albert Falls. All you gotta do is switch out some names, and we're good to go, guys. So, this is Chelsea, this is 20-something Orlando, and this is me telling the Walt Disney World Company and Walt Disney Imagineering that you have failed this theme park, and you have failed the Jungle Cruise, and you have failed Albert AWOL. Skipper Chelsea, signing off.